ஏறிட்டான் மரத்து மேல ஏறிட்டான். Review of Paradesi.
So now it's time we touch on the storyline, the most important, the most integral, the most amazing part of this whole movie. This one was rewritten by Nanjil Naden in Tamil, but originally it came from a book called Red Tea by Paul Harris. Let me just tell you about this storyline. You know, there was a lot of transitional moments in this. It starts out at the beginning of the story where you're building on the plot line around Rasa loving his potential wife in this film. Then you're going to get something that happens, stirs up the commotion in the actual community. Once that happens, half the community gets up, shifts to a new village where they're working, collecting tea leaves and all of these type of things. They go through a dramatic slavery period. You're going to really feel the abrasiveness of this storyline. And then I won't say anything else because the ending, whoa. Yeah, I cried. You'll cry. Your friends will cry. And that's right, this story had the most impact on me in a while. I truly connected with the characters, truly connected with what was trying to be projected on screen, and I'm going to have to say, a job well done. And having said that, it's time for the rating. That's right, we're going to give this one an 8 out of 10. I first want to start with direction by Bala, and this guy is incredible in the way he symbolizes things. At the beginning, in the opening community that you see this rural village with the characters living in this day-to-day lifestyle, just striving to have a good, nutrition from how they're going to gain their next dollar. All of these things came into play. And I thought Bala was very critical in the way that he projected the difference between that community and the community that the plot shifts to. When it came to the secondary community, there was a lot of evil and anger and emotion that was involved. And their journey to that community really signified the strife and the pain that they were going through to get to a better life. Now, when they got to the new community, it was interesting because Bala is a guy that likes to use symbolism. And in this film, he symbolically utilized, the bad guys. He dressed them in all white. The horse was white. Their outfits were white. Everything was white. And then everyone in contrast was actually in darker colors. Now, I thought this puts you in a specific mindset that gets you thinking, these people are going to save the lives of these individuals. But at the end, Bala brilliantly did something which I'm not going to reveal because I don't want to ruin it for you, but he really commanded the screen in these situations. And I thought the characters came across perfectly in every situation they were put in. Now, with everything there's a downfall, and I didn't think there was many in this film, but what the things I didn't appreciate as much was when Bala created the main character as this very emotional guy. In the first 20 minutes, he's cried about 5 times. I think what he could have done better is actually gotten that character to cry less at the beginning, which would have set the stage at the later half of the movie when he's even more emotional. You sort of get lost in this whole path. You're like, this guy is super sad all the time. There's no change in emotion. He's always the same person. Although he goes through a lot of hardships in this one, you will notice that, especially, I noticed it a lot at the beginning of the movie. But of course, I do have to rate the direction by Bala. And because this was such a powerhouse of an emotional roller coaster of a film, you're going to like this one and you're going to love the direction by Bala. If you're a Bala fan, today is a day to celebrate. So I'll celebrate right with you. And I'm going to give Bala an 8 out of 10. So when it comes to the actors and actresses in this film, in the main male role, we've got Adarva, who plays Rasa, we've got Vedika, who plays Ungama, and then we've got Dansika, who plays Murugadan. So the character Rasa is this lost soul of a guy who's living in this village. He's trying to fall in love with this girl, and then he has all these hardships where he's pulled away from his community into this world of chaos and abuse and strife. Everything goes wrong in his life. And the journey that this guy goes through is an emotional time. And you really need to feel that as an audience member. I felt it in the way that he cried and the way that his emotions poured out on screen. Every moment of this film, he was exhibiting some kind of emotion. There was no dull moments where you're like, oh, I wonder what he's feeling. I wonder what he's doing. I wonder what he's going to eat next. And that's not there. You may just cry watching this guy on screen. I thought he did fantastic. Now, as for Nguma, she's chasing Rasa from the beginning. She's teasing him. She's poking and prodding him at every point and moment she gets, to the point where he breaks and he has this emotional downfall where he's crying in the forest. She comes to his rescue, and that's where you see the true interaction of love. That's right. If you've ever wondered what love looks like, look for it in that scene. She exhibited it perfectly. She's the perfect love interest in this type of story by Bala. Her journey from the start and how she transitions through her life over the next coming years is very important with this and very progressive in the storyline. So last but not least, I can't forget about Murugadam. She played an important role because Bala used her as a person of symbolic nature. And what I mean by that is she had to play the secondary love. Although she may not have been in love with Rasa, she still had to, I guess, act it out in a way that you felt those emotions, but the connection wasn't quite there. That's even hard for me to explain, so you can imagine what she had to do on screen. I don't want to say much more about these actors because they all played an amazing role. And hands down, this was some of the better acting that I've seen in a while. And I'm going to have to give you guys a 7.5 out of 10. The cinematographer Che Lien really captured the moments at the beginning of the film very crisp and clean. You get involved with the lives of the characters, you're getting to see what the community is all about, what their living situation, their eating situation, how they interact on a person-to-person basis. Now, those relationships are established through the camera work by Che Lien. Now, I think this is done perfectly, and through a lot of the overview shots where you can see people working in the tea fields, you really get a sense that you're in the countryside with them. And I think that Che Lien, that's all because of your work. Direction from Bala came into play here, but at the end of the day, when you're trying to get that gripping emotion when the person's crying, you don't want it to come across fake. You want to almost fall in love and cry with these people. And I think that your camera angles, from the tight shots to the multiple personalities that you captured in your shots, was absolutely stunning. So bravo. So, I can say all these good things about your camera work, but at the end of the day, it all boils down to what am I going to rate you? And guess what? I think I'm going to rate you a 7 out of 10. Good work, buddy. There was some huge weight on the shoulders of GB Prakash in this one. We didn't want the same old GB Prakash for this. We wanted something dynamic, something that illustrates the emotional roller coaster this film projects. And I think GB Prakash hit it on the nail. Honestly, his music was fantastic. The emotion it portrayed, from the sounds he used to how hard he let the beats come in, to the way he just composed moments where they were just walking around. It really added to this film. I think you're going to enjoy it. I think you're going to like the soft moments, from the confusing moments to the moments where you just want to fall in love with the relationship you're watching on screen. And you know what? You're going to get that in this film. GB Prakash, I have to say, you came through on this one. The lyrics were beautiful. The sounds were melodic. Everything was there for me. And it really did push you on the edge of your seat and keep you entertained throughout the film. There's not many bad things I can say to you, GB Prakash, because, you pulled through, you didn't disappoint me. I'm sure the rest of the crowd can agree with me that the tones and everything you used in this one were spot on. I'm going to have to say you get an 8 out of 10 on this one. That's pretty good. Keep going, man. I had a blast seeing this. It was incredible for me, emotional. I was just in tears by the end of it. So you can count on the cast, the story, the direction, the cinematography, and the music to all be something pleasing to your eyes and ears. That's right. Go see this film. If not today, go see it tomorrow. This is a must-see film. Bala hasn't disappointed, and you're going to love it. I loved it. And guess what the overall rating is? A 7.7 out of 10. And remember, guys, as always, this is Review Raja certified.
Paradesi, Paradesi, காட்டுக்குள்ள வந்துட்டான். Paradesi, Paradesi, மரத்து மேல ஏறிட்டான். இவனோட தொலை